Hey, this is Josh with Snapdragon Hemp. On today's video, we're going to talk about the different ways to take CBD and which way is going to be best for you. We'll start out with the oils. We'll move on to the vape products and the smoking, the flower, edibles, different forms of oils to take. Also, the lotions that we have available. The lotions are an amazing way for that certain direct targeted pain relief in one spot. And then the many different kind of edibles we have. We'll go on about it. So let's show you the oils first. So on the different oils, getting into the spectrum of stuff, I've got it kind of assorted from THC-free products. So this would be 100% THC-free. There's 3,500 milligrams of CBD in this bottle. Every one dropper is about 116, 117 milligrams of CBD in one dropper, which you need that high of a dose if it's a THC-free product. And then we move over to our standard, like our sweetened oil that we do. It's a 750 milligram half ounce or a 1,500 milligram 1 ounce bottle of tested cannabinoids in this. And then we have a niche style tincture, the boost, the sleep, and the relief. So the boost is a heavy sativa dominant base with what's in nature uplifting: orange, ginger, and lemon. So in the citrus family of stuff, is uplifting for the daytime along with sativa tested terpenes. The sleep is the other end of the spectrum. It's the peppermint, the heaviness, the indica dominant terpenes, OG Kush derived strains that are, solvent free extracted for, hemp derived terpenes, cannabis derived terpenes. So the sleep does really well for the nighttime relaxation. And the relief is a blend of the indica and sativa, but with a little more, whenever we're doing our extractions of the hemp, we had clary sage, lavender, and chamomile infused in the hemp. So we have our pure extracted versions of those in these three style oils. So, and then these oils go from a 1,000 milligram half ounce, a 2,000 milligram 1 ounce, and then a 4,000 milligram 2 ounce bottle. They all maintain the same dosage, no matter if you get a small bottle or a big bottle. Your dosages on these are going to be about 75 milligrams of CBD per dropper. And then for the super max potency, there's 10,000 milligrams in this one bottle right here. 170 milligrams in each dropper you would take of this product. So for the people that need the relief and nothing else seems to work for them, we have a solution. 10,000 milligrams in a bottle. It's insane as far as the potency. It's Delta 8 infused, it's Delta 9 infused, it's CBN, CBG, CBC, and CBD all tested on that product. And then for those that suffer from the anxiety type relief, we have products such as the borderline THC. We have those in a 750 milligram option and a 1,500 milligram option as well. What these are and why it's called borderline THC is because it's a 1-to-1 ratio of CBD and THC. So you have that, that relaxation effect that you would have, what we call the entourage effect. So that is what you would see in a bottle like this. Each dropper of these, just because the THC content has to be a certain number, the dropper size on these is 33 milligrams per dropper at a 1-to-1 ratio. Delta 8 and Delta 9 infused to equate to those numbers. So our oil lineup varies from tea-free to almost just THC from the hemp plant, and everywhere in between. Price points range from $40 up to $300 for a massive bottle. So we have something that we think can fit everybody's budget and products that truly work. So the fastest, almost instant way to take cannabinoid products is a vape. So they had a bad publicity in the news last year with all the issues with vitamin E, people doing black market cartridges and stuff. With this stuff, we feel very confident that the way we do it is the right way to do it. And if there's any way to do it the best way, we think we meet those standards. Oregon standards is what we follow. So they are 100% of the product inside the cartridge has to be made from a cannabis plant. We follow those by using hemp-derived terpenes inside of them. So the terpenes that we use are different variants. They come out with different flavors, and what it tastes like is what we kind of call it, right? So this one's we have a blueberry, a mango, and then we call this the K3 Platinum. So we do these in a 0.5 gram option. Either one of these, they're amazing little devices that we have options for. But it's something where when you take a puff off a vape, you have effects within seconds of exhaling, and the effects, they're not going to last as long as other methods, but you have the strongest, most intense, most immediate effects off of like a vape product. In this cartridge right here is a 90% cannabinoid product. So everything in here is a cannabinoid minus the flavorings from the terpenes. Um, and it just leaves for a really good smooth taste, good clean smoke, immediate effects. Super smooth. So this is how you smoke the raw form of hemp or CBD. So this would be a good outdoor nug. This strain here is the Bayox, grown here right outside of Chattanooga in Dayton, Tennessee. Little rolling kits. So if you wanted to do your like joints or joint papers with it, pre-rolls available in raw cones, and then 1 gram, 3.5 gram, or 7 gram containers of some of the different flowers we have. Franklin is our strongest indica flower. Sweeten's the second strongest. It's real close, a little better smoke though. And then we have a lot of hybrids and sativas. So some of like the orange citruses and stuff like that that are more of a sativa are uplifting. Usually the sativa indicates a all CBD. So the Bayox, for instance, was 21% CBD and 0.3% THC. Where the Franklin and sweetened or like 13 to 14% total cannabinoid, with only 7 being CBD, the others being different CBN, CBG, CBC, all the different full spectrum parts. So when you have more of that entourage effect with an indica dominant flower, out of all the strains, the hundreds of strains we've sampled and tried and bought, the 2019 outdoor season and the 2020 indoor season, these are the only 2 that we believe are anywhere close to being a real indica, and they are our best sellers. So good way of smoke. You get a good instant effect with the smoke. Good flavor, good smell. You get a huge variety. Any store you're going to go to is going to have at least 10 different strains. So you can kind of find something suited just for you. Pain relief, anxiety relief, in the morning for focus, energy. There's a strain for everybody out there. Finding which one for you can be a little difficult at times, but don't get too stressed out. Definitely try a couple before you give up on the flower. So another very, very, very fast way to inhale a cannabinoidal product is through a concentrate. So let's take this one syringe for an example. There is 1 milliliter, 1 gram in this beautiful syringe. To take this 1 milliliter, 1 gram to make it this pure, this clean with almost no color, it would take over 10 grams of bud to make this 1 gram. So super concentrated, well in the 90% range for total cannabinoid, where your typical flower is like 12 to 18%. So the dabs are just a super good way to take a lot of product in a very fast time. For people that have a high tolerance, this is usually what they end up going to and staying on. Flower on the occasion, but usually people that do the concentrates stick with the concentrates. The CBD dabs we have on this side are a THC variant. Then the syringes are both our 0.3% THC and CBD, or the Delta 8 THC, which is the hemp derived version of our CBD. So the differences between the isolate based form that we have here in the slab versus the CB dabs is this is a broad spectrum product. So pure CBD, broad spectrum. There was a 7% ratio of minors, breakdown of CBN and CBG on both of these. So they give a really good euphoric feeling, even though they are THC free. And then of course the full spectrum ones, they're definitely a little stronger for the at night indica type relaxation. But something like this little piece of equipment right here, we have a quartz piece with a little carb cap. You'll heat it up. You can either heat it up with a torch or you can heat it up with an e-nail. So we have this little device right here. It's a 30 millimeter electronic nail with a PID controller. So usually we'll set the temperature between 620 to 680 degrees. And we have a little device that goes on the bottom of this with a clip. So you can see the clip right here at the bottom. Goes around it, covers the sides, bottom, and clips right on. So if you wanted to do it electronically safely, you cut a button on and it just works in a matter of minutes versus having to have a torch and stuff. There's a couple different ways to do it that you might not be aware of. So concentrates. All the different edible ways to take CBD has been vastly changing in the past couple of years. Currently, we're allowed to make and manufacture here in the Tennessee. We are regulated by the Department of Agriculture for our grow, for our processing facility, and for food and dairy manufacturing of products. So just in the past, this 2020 year, the Ag Department has allowed, has given us regulations to follow that are, they give amazing results, is I guess the best way to phrase that. The teas that we make are super fast acting. It's the quickest way to take an edible. You get into the next way of edibles, like the standard, like the honey sticks. You have like a 30 to 45-minute reaction time, but usually it lasts an hour and a half to 3 hours to folks. The cookies, about the same way, that 45-minute to 1 hour type onset for effects. We have sugar, chocolate chip, and then peanut butter cookies is what we keep in rotation. Different flavors of. We'll do lemon extract or orange extract, sugar cookies, and rotate stuff like that up. But for the most part, we do those three as a standard. And then the granola bars. The granola bars, just due to the way that your stomach has to digest the oats and the nuts at a slower rate, the effects and the onset of the granola bars are anywhere from an hour to 2 hours before you start to see the effects. But the effects are subtle and lasting for up to 6 hours for some people. So we have two different versions of the granola bars, the sativa and the indica. Sativa is good for daytime use. It's a 75% CBD, 25% delta-8 ratio. The indicas are more of a 50-50, 50% delta-9, 50% delta-8 for that just increased indica. Some people are uplifted because the delta-9 isn't a little uplifting to them, but for the most part, they're just heavy as well as the honey sticks we do. So differences on the honey sticks. We have the indica honey stick and the sweetened mother's honey stick. The honey sticks that are made with the mother's honey, they're more for daytime use. They're 1-to-1 ratio CBD to THC versus the sweetened honey sticks or just that delta-8 with the residual delta-9 for that super heavy effect of the delta-8. And then getting into the THC-free side of things, we have the chocolates that we get from the Patsies. So the mints are pretty good. I do more of the peanut butter and the milk chocolates, but the mints are definitely a good one for people who like mint. A couple different ways to take stuff. To do a good summary of the edibles, the sativa versus the indica edibles, if you're wanting something for the daytime, find our sativa blends. So the sativa honey, the sativa granola bars, the sativa cookies, the sativa tea that we do. We have a max tea and then a calm tea, so the sativa indica style. So we try to be, as pointed straight toward what's going to work for you as we can be, because there's not just a one thing works all for hemp. If you had that mentality, if you went to a CBD store, you'd be unhappy with everything that was there. So definitely keeping some stuff that's, this is way more towards this side. This is way more towards the other side. And it's funny when some people don't believe. It's like, this is a sativa honey stick. This is the indica honey stick. And they eat an indica honey stick in the morning before they go to work. And they have a very slow day at work. It's, some ways are in a good way. Personally, I would enjoy that effect. Somebody that wasn't understanding of what was to come might be a little, not so apt to it during a day at work. So it's something we want to make aware to everybody when we're doing these the high potency hemp products that we're doing. For example, on potency, this one honey stick, for example, there's 5 grams in this honey stick. In 4 honey sticks, there is more CBD and THC in these 4 honey sticks than 90% of oil bottles on the market, an entire CBD bottle of oil. So we make something it's super high potent. So whenever we say 4 or 5 servings, we say it just because it's a safety thing, right?